See this shoe right here? This represents 10 years of excellence, a shoe fit for the greatest shooter of all time. Yo guys, what is good? Zakaragi back at it again, and today we have another episode of Toilet Reviews, the series where I put a shoe on a toilet and I review it for you guys out there. So for today's episode, we have a very special one because we have these bad boys back here. So these are the Curry brand Curry 10s. That's right guys, Steph Curry just hit the big milestone, the big 1-0 for his signature shoe line, and that is ridiculous to me because where has all this time gone, guys? Like 10 shoes already. Man, it feels like yesterday when I was in high school, I grabbed a pair of the Curry 2s from my local Foot Locker, had to go there after school. Oh my god, and I remember hiding it from my mom when I came back home so she didn't know that I spent all my allowance money on those Curry 2s. Good times, guys. So I'm really happy they're bringing back all these older Curry models because it brings back a lot of fond memories. But yeah, so these guys back here are actually the Iron Sharpens Iron colorway. So that's actually a throwback or callback to the original Curry 2s because the initial debut pair for the Curry 2s was called the Iron Sharpens Iron colorway. So that shoe is actually coming back as a retro model. I think within the next couple of weeks. I might be mistaken, but that's a rumor flying around out there. But as far as these guys go, let's get it off with the materials. Just like last year's model, the Curry 10 features Warp on the uppers, but this time it's new and improved and called Warp 2.0. These do have added support features, which is shown with the stripes of orange on the Warp, and on these shoes we do have a super padded tongue with mesh for breathability, which feels very comfortable on foot. Moving along to the back side of the shoe, there's a plastic heel counter to keep your foot locked in, and my personal favorite parts of the materials are these pull loops on the tongue and heel. All in all guys, I really do feel like the materials on the Curry 10s feel like a more refined, more elevated version of the materials that were featured on the Curry 9s. So just in general guys, Warp is really comfortable on foot. It is great to play in as well, but when it came to the Curry 9s, I had a small issue with the toe area. It just felt pretty snug and just, I don't know, really uncomfortable on my toes. Really didn't like that feeling at all. So the Curry 10s back here, these don't have that same issue, which is great. So I'm really excited to see how these perform on the court now that I don't have to worry about my toes being uncomfortable all the time and having a comfortable Warp upper. But I just want to touch upon why I feel like the pull loops are my favorite feature on the materials, and that's just because for functionality's sake, it just makes it easier for me to put the shoe on in all situations and take the shoe off as well. I don't know, I just like having that pull loop at all times. But moving along, let's get it going with the cushioning setup. For the third year in a row, we have Under Armour Flow technology, which is a foam compound, so that means that this shoe is completely rubberless, and the cushioning setup doubles as the traction setup, and the midsole doubles as the outsole. So Flow feels pretty stable and firm, but still comfy from a try-on perspective, just like the previous Curry Flow models. If you guys out there haven't had a chance to try any of Under Armour's Flow products, whether that be the basketball shoes or the running shoes, do yourself a favor and grab a pair right now because guys, Flow is awesome. I just love it as a cushioning setup, especially when it comes to their basketball shoes. It feels great on foot, has a really smooth heel to toe transition as well. So that's just something I love, and I don't know, you really don't get the feeling that it will be comfortable on foot and just really be forgiving on your knees, but it actually really is. So that's something I'm really happy about, and I can't wait to try these out on court and see how the flow has sort of changed or improved rather when it comes to these guys, the Curry 10s, because so far it feels very similar to the Curry 9s, minus one thing. With the Curry 9s, especially in the forefoot area, I felt like I was sitting a little bit higher up off the ground, but when it comes to these guys, I feel like I have more court feel similar to that of the Curry 8. So like I said, pretty excited to try them on court, and let's get it going with the outsoles. We have the exact same traction pattern as that of the Curry 8 and 9, but I feel like the main difference is that those shoes had a really soft and smooth texture, whereas the Curry 10s, their outsoles feel a little more rugged. I'm really hoping that this new rugged texture on the outsoles sort of like correlates with better durability, because when it came to the Curry 8s, I had a really big durability issue with those guys because I didn't wear them like too many times, honestly, and it started wearing out on my high wear areas that I would push off from or drag my feet on, so that actually caused me to lose grip also, and it just wouldn't bite as hard in those areas as well once they started to wear out a lot. So that was really a bummer because I really like playing in that shoe. So fingers crossed that these guys hold up a lot better, and I just don't know how it's going to perform on dust as well. I'm really hoping that this new rugged texture correlates with better performance on dusty courts as well, because, you know, on clean courts, flow is amazing. It is goated. It's one of the best traction setups I've ever played with, so I kind of want to compare it. So everyone wants to say the Kobe 9 has the best traction setup, but for me, I think that the Jordan 28s have the best traction setup. Those things were hella grippy, so these guys actually feel very similar to the Jordan 28, if not better on clean courts. But wow, when you hit a dusty court, the drop off between the traction level on a clean court versus the dusty court is huge, because the traction all of a sudden becomes, oh my god, I don't know, just really subpar. And it's really like, I don't know, it's jarring almost in a sense, because you think to yourself like, how did it drop off this much as far as performance goes? So I don't know. Obviously, dust will affect any shoe, whether it's a foam compound or a rubber compound on the outsoles, but that steep drop off between a clean court versus a dusty court for these guys is just ridiculous. So fingers crossed that all this new updates for the flow technology really adds on to the performance and makes it better with all the problems that I have with flow. But let's get it going with the sizing real quick. So as far as sizing goes, definitely go true to size. So I'm normally a size 10 in most shoes that I wear. I went with the size 10 in these guys and I have no issues at all. So if you are a wide footer, I'd still recommend going with your true size, because these do have a wider base, but obviously try them on in store if you ever get the chance to. But that is it for today's video, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this. So let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about these shoes. Are they fire? Are they not? Are you planning on picking up a pair of these? So let me know in the comments down below, guys. I always love hearing from you guys. But we're at that point of the video. It's time for #Zacharagi what you rockin'. So for today, guys, we're on the whole theme of 10 years because, you know, this is Steph Curry's 10th signature shoe. I wanted to bring out a shoe that's actually almost 10 years old. So this is the 2013 Jordan 1 Black Toe. Wow, I cannot believe I've almost had these for 10 years. These are one of my favorite Jordan 1 colorways of all time. Just a timeless classic, guys. But that's it for today, guys. I'm signing out. Peace.